रंगखबर.com सबै रंग तपाईसँग।
Hi there. I'm doing this in English, just to reach out to the wider audience, hopefully to people across the world, because this concerns the entire human race, us as the human species. We all know that humanity at this phase is going through a very turbulent phase. Coronavirus, COVID-19, has encompassed all of us and turn our situation into a global crisis as well as personal crisis. And separately but desperately, we're grappling with this common demon, and it is something unprecedented, at least in the living memories of almost all of us. And coronavirus, COVID-19, as you know, has brought even the most powerful and so-called highly developed countries on their knees. And shamefully, they're exposed to their vulnerability. And these powerful countries, who have spent trillions of dollars to arm themselves to the teeth in order to defend themselves or overpower their fellow human beings, and calling them adversaries and enemies, must recognize that it is not the nuclear ammunition, but pandemics like this are the real threat to the entire human species. And in a situation like this, where most leaders are showing their helplessness, the weak leaders are pointing fingers at each other and engaged in blame games, which is only stoking the fire and helping to proliferate in all kind of speculations and controversies and conspiracies, and which is totally, to a person like you and me, it's totally confusing and perplexing, and to top that, even the benevolent organization, that is supposed to work for the benefit of the humanity at large, to the entire humanity universally, somehow seems to be besmirched in all kind of controversies and have failed to play out their role effectively in a crisis like this, in a challenging time like this. So I think, this should be a wake-up call to the entire world, because we should realize that us as a human now form a single global community. And what happens in one corner of the world is going to have a domino effect in every corners of the world eventually. So there has to be, I think, a solidarity, more so now than ever before, especially in the field of health and environment. So that is something that we need to prioritize, because we have seen that how the world reacts when things are confronted in the 11th hour, when they're unprepared, because even about the present pandemics, there were several even politicians, several influencers, prominent people, and even experts had warned about this pandemic, not so far distant in the past, but somehow, the powerful leaders of powerful countries, they just went unheeded. And now we have a beast in our front yard. And the only thing that we can do is bolt the door safely and keep ourselves securely indoors. And this is the situation that we have been caught up with, merely because the powerful countries just did not pay too much of attention to the experts, or to the other prominent people who were sort of like warning about this situation. So tomorrow, God forbid, if there is some sort of a catastrophic calamity in relation to environment. Looks like the world again will unbashfully be exposed to its vulnerability, you know, and that would be a sad case, because as we have seen, you know, this lockdown, locking almost the entire human race indoors, has not only given space for the universe to breathe, but also has helped it to bloom in the absence of the humanity. Therefore, we should realize that we are more of a burden than a boon to this world. We have absolutely no contribution in making this world environmentally a better place at all, because you know, for example, try to lock in all the trees of the world, and I think the world will fall apart. Or try locking the rest of the species, like we have locked human beings at this phase. Imagine locking up the rest of the species indoors. I think the world and the universe will suffer immensely, because all the other species and other plants and trees have a contribution to make this universe a livable and bountiful place, whereas us, we have proven only to be a hindrance more than anything else. You know, and we are basically destroying the very basis we need to sustain our life. And like they say, you know, there are no mistakes, there are only lessons to be learned. I think, so let, you know, this be a lesson not to repeat the mistake that has been done this time. Let us give health and environment the topmost priority, the topmost attention universally, because health also means not just protecting us from virus, but it also means giving quality source of food, water, and air to the entire human race, and also by taking a good care of the environment. And this is the only way we can sustain in this planet, I think. So let's take this as a wake-up call and be sensible and look after ourselves and take care of each other before pointing finger at each other or putting each other down, or, you know, involving ourselves in this one-upmanship game, whether it be in a global context or personal context. So my bottom line is, let's learn a lesson. The world leaders, the world organization, just bear in mind that we're all in this, we're all in it together, you know, for the good or for the bad. So let's just not concentrate in one part of the world or another part of the world. Let's try to focus and pay attention to the entire world, the entire human race, and especially when it comes to health and environment. Once the health and the environment is taken care of, in no time the prosperity will follow. So I guess this is all I have to say. Good night for now, and hopefully I'll come back again with different issues. So thank you.